There's great excitement in South Africa, great anticipation with regards to the upcoming elections on the 29th of May. The date was only recently announced, so everybody is starting to get into the excitement mode. A few of the political parties that are going to be campaigning or participating in the elections have already launched their manifesto. There's a massive drive to try and get the youth to participate in these elections. And that's something that our institution is also working towards, to try and get young people to vote. There's a great importance of young people participating in these upcoming elections, because a lot of South Africans feel that it is the youth, high youth turn up that can really determine where the future of South Africa is supposed to go, is expected to go.
I was looking at some of the polls that are coming out of South Africa. It looks like a lot of young people are beginning to part ways with the ANC, largely because the ANC has been there for 30 years, but really it hasn't done much for the empowerment of young people. Could that be one of those things where a lot of young people are trying to distance themselves from the ANC?
A lack of youth participation in the country and how the country is run and how the country moves forward. And that's not because the youth don't want to take part. It's just because the opportunities are just not there. And that frustration has led a lot of young people not to want to take part in the democratic process in the first place. So they don't turn up to elections because they feel that there's nothing they can do to change what they're experiencing. But it's actually the other way around. It's them turning up to vote and deciding on who they feel is the right candidate to listen to them, that can open up spaces that are going to create opportunities for young people.
What does it take really to listen to the youth and understand where they're coming from?
The challenge that the African continent has is that if you go to a General Assembly at the African Union headquarters, you're going to find a gentleman's club of old men. And these people who some would say are still living in a different part of the world. We, the young people, and I consider myself a young people because I am, are thinking about what's going to be happening in Africa in 2030, 2040, 2050. The consideration or the realization that in the year 2030, half of Africa's population is highly likely going to be urbanized. And that means that we need to think about what we are going to do and to develop our cities, to develop our economies, to be part of the global process. And in that regard, they are out of touch, considered by many young people. They are out of touch of the realities that are faced by the youngest continent in the world in terms of median age group. And that's the biggest problem. It's just that they don't see things the way that young people are seeing them, and young people are thinking about more than just tomorrow.